too freaking bright. It's always something with this Wi-Fi connection. It sucks. What's up, Leos? My illuminators. Illuminators. I probably gotta get on another Wi-Fi. Um, so did the other day a message for um oh boy, hold on 1 second. So the other night I did a message for Gemini and Cancer. All right, and sadly that video did not go through. Okay, let me try to scoot it back. Sadly that video didn't go through. It had no sound to it, right? So it might be a sign, or it might be something that was telling me, like, maybe it wasn't the right time, or it's specifically a message for Leo, or maybe dealing with a Leo, or maybe once again dealing with the sun. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna try to kind of go over the message again, and this could be resonating with um a Taurus or Aries. All right. Now, in the message, I was getting the Maze Runner, the movie. All right. So it might be something dealing with the Maze Runner movie. Okay. And, when I got that, it might have something to deal with the cathedral, which the cathedral led me to the bishop, and the bishop led me to who's the top bishop, which would be the Pope, okay? And that led me to who is the top Pope or whatever, and which is Rome, okay? Rome is over the Pope, okay? And then which led me to what does the Bible say about Rome, or what did Jesus say about Rome, right? And Rome was basically had something to deal with Jesus' trial. Okay, so basically the Romans was the ones that made the decision to crucify Jesus. Okay, so it led me to a whole bunch of places, which led me to, okay, what did Jesus specifically say to the Romans? And I found out that Jesus said to the Romans that allow Caesar to, what Caesar's will stay Caesar's, and what's God's will stay God's. Okay, he says he is not of this world. All right, and that's on period. Basically, I'm like paraphrasing, but anyway, so go back to that message dealing with the Maze Runner. Okay, so when I was talking about it, I am basically talking about it because I'm putting myself inside of a part of a book where it's talking about these groups of kids on this field trip. And on this field trip, basically they go to a cathedral, right? And I was explaining how when you are on a field trip, of course you have a guide that's guiding you to go somewhere, blah 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 blah, right? Telling you about the field trip, okay? Telling you about what you're looking at. All right, so in this field trip, a group of kids, they go away from the class, so they break away from the class to go another route, to go another way. And when they go another route, they go another way, they find themselves inside a Labathel or something like that. Basically it's a maze, in which I was like getting the Maze Runner. Okay, I'm like, okay, the maze, maybe this has something to do with the Maze Runner, the movie. All right. And when I was reading about when these group of kids broke up from the other class, it was basically talking about how they found this place, and it was very beautiful, very meditative, meaning the place was beautiful and meditative. So that was very these creatures called um monitor. And when I hear that, like hear that word or hear, that type of creature, I think of a monitor, like a monitoring spirit. Okay, so some of you guys may notice that it may be a lot of monitoring spirits around you, or a lot of monitoring spirits just all up in your business. Okay, or something like that, right? Um, so yeah, but it was kind of like explaining how to kill this monster, or how what they had to do to basically kill this creature or whatever it was. All right, but here we are in the Maze Runner, so I wanted to talk about the Maze Runner movie. All right, and maybe how we have some type of connection here to the message for some of you guys. This message may not be for everybody, but basically the Maze Runner was about an experiment. So these people, a group of people called Wicked, right? They would kidnap these teenagers, and they would basically wipe their memory and put them inside of this maze where they don't remember what happened to them before, they don't remember their life before, but they put them inside of this maze to experiment on them. Okay, so some of you guys may be dealing with things where you are an experiment, or somebody looking at you like you are an experiment, or feel like you are some type of experiment. Okay, this can be in a relationship, this can be actual experiments. Okay, this can be like some MK Ultra stuff, right? Even though people don't like to talk about it, but it's real. Okay, but basically in the Maze Runner movie, it explores themes of survival, adaptation, and the search for identity, all while questioning the ethics of scientific experimentation. Okay, so somebody could be experimenting how certain people survive. How do you survive? How can you survive? Can you survive this? Can you survive that? How do you feel when this happens to you, that happens to you? It's basically testing you, and to see if you're gonna give in or give up, or hoping that you give up um in some instances. Okay, this can also be see, will you make it through? Like, will you find your identity? Will you find who you really are? And things of that such. Or some people actually, by going through so many things inside of this experimentation, you start to find out who you really truly are, and that's kind of like the two different groups that's inside of the cathedral, right? One group stays this way, and another group goes this way, basically to find out a deeper meaning of who they are, all right, as well, or it's something meant for you to do to find out more deeper about who you are, all right. But that doesn't mean that we should not question the ethnics, right? Or yeah, the ethnics of the people that is doing this science experimentation, okay, on you or on whoever, right? Okay, so yeah, just take it as you resonate, but we're just telling stories here, all right. um so yeah, and see, inside of this movie, The Maze Runner, basically it is about this scientific group. They're trying to find a cure for something. Okay, a cure for this deadly virus called Flare, all right? And the maze itself is a testing ground designed to analyze the reactions and brain activities of participants during extreme stress. So somebody might be putting people during through extreme stress. I'm also seeing like rats, okay? Like experimental with rats, experiments with rats. But they might be actually experimenting with humans, okay? Yeah, okay. Here, all right. So yeah, Leo, um that's what I was getting. Whew. All right, so also the word immune, I've been getting like immune, immunity, immortal, IMM, I'm saying. And immune, when I had looked it up, immune means Immune means totally or partially resistant to a particular infectious disease or pathogen. Okay, so that means that these certain things don't affect a certain person, or it doesn't affect a person how it affects everybody else, or if it hits them, it's like, oh man, they have it for a short time and then they get better. So it's kind of like a science experiment, a science experiment. Okay. um It also means protected or exempt, especially from an obligation or the effects of something resistant, free from, to let go, okay, unchanged, untouched, uninfluenced, right? Something can be not touchable to certain people, right? Or they may feel, or a group of people may even feel like they're untouchable in some type of way. Here, that might be something that's coming up. All right. So maybe something is becoming more questionable, highly questionable. It's kind of like what I was talking about. Like it may be people that is working with this group, or know that they're working with this group, and they know that they're doing wrong, and they know that what they're doing is also questionable, but they still do it, right? But you're doing wrong, but you're still doing it. You're still participating in it. That's the type of energy that I'm getting. Okay. Something to deal with anatomy. Okay. Anatomy. I'm also hearing Grey's Anatomy. All right. Something might be dealing with that show, Grey's Anatomy. Something might be dealing with um um a hospital, results, tests, things like that. All right. Grey's Anatomy. Okay, gray. Maybe something to do with the color gray. Also the grays. Okay, some people believe in that. I don't know really know what the grays is. I know that they talk about the grays. Dealing with certain things. Like you can look it up online. What are the grays? Okay. Oh, it's aliens. Okay, so the grays is aliens. All right. So it says the gray alien is cited in archetypical image or something like that. I don't really know these words, of an intelligent non-human creature and extraterrestrial life in general, as well as the iconic trope of popular culture in the age of space and exploration. So, all right. But basically maybe they're aliens, okay, but I don't even know why I'm hearing that. Like I said, it's all experimentation, okay, just experiments. All right. All right. So what else? It's talking about it could also be experimentation of how certain people come to age, or how are they adapting to life, the challenges in life. Maybe somebody is watching other people and trying to figure out um how do they get through certain challenges in life, certain uncertainties. All right. Alrighty. Okay. So yeah, it's basically all about how certain people react under pressure. I had already said all this before, but we gonna do it again. Also, inside of the maze runner, we have grievers. Now, grievers are creatures that are particularly made to chase after the people that's inside of the maze. Okay. Um, they are basically a fictional biochemical creature from the maze. Okay, so they are creatures that are created. So somebody has created this creature. Okay. I also here created a monster. I have created a monster. So somebody could be saying this about another person, like, man, I recreated a monster. Like somebody could be non-emotional, or the people that we're dealing with, or whatever we're dealing with is non-emotional. They don't really care about people's feelings. They don't care about people emotions. They are maybe emotionless. Okay. And sometimes you can also be dealing with people that something has happened to them to make them feel emotionless, meaning that they don't feel, or they feel so much that that's the reason why they're trying to get this cure for this virus. Maybe a person that they really truly love is dying from it, or has died from it, or they just want it, right? They just want it. It's like I gotta have it, okay? So that can be something. All right, somebody could be grieving another person or grieving themselves. Somebody's trying to save themselves, or I need to save myself. Okay, that's also what I'm hearing, right? Um, yeah. So these creatures are basically artificially created, biomechanical, designed to test subjects and inmates. Are described to be having slug-like bodies with mechanical legs, a tail, and a powerful sensory device. What I was getting with sensory is senses, like your senses, your the smell, touch, hearing, seeing, how do you sense things? You know what I'm saying? How does things pick up for you? Okay, so they might be good at the sensing, or they can always sense something off, or you can sense when something is off. Okay, they're testing your senses as well. All right, I'm getting like the seven senses. Okay, that might be a movie. It's a movie, some movie. What is the movie? The Seven Sense. So something about the Seven Sense, the movie, the Seventh Sense, Seventh Sense. Okay, so what is the Seven Sense movie about? The Seventh Sense is a story of what all of today's successful figures see and feel. The forces that are invisible to most of us, but explain everything from explosive technological change to uneasy political ripples. The secret to power now is understanding our new age of networks. Okay, wait, that's just that. Okay, what is the movie about? Let's see. All right, The Seventh Sense, the movie. Okay, so I see it says she's about to learn how to make love. A blind street musician shut off from everything but her music. Okay. So somebody here could be learning how to use their senses. Let me see. I'm trying to get more information on it. Begins working with a composer who uses senses metaphors as teaching tools. With the possibility of regaining her eyesight, she fears she will lose her musical inspiration. So some of you guys can resonate with maybe certain things happening to you and kind of frightening you that you're gonna lose some type of senses here, or one of your senses. Okay, as well, you might be trying to get one of those back, kind of like myself. Kind of lost my hearing for a while, and I love music, and it's kind of how I do my messages and resonate. But if I can't hear, or if I can't hear completely, or if I can't hear how loud the music really is, it kind of makes it hard for me to do what I have to do. So you guys might resonate with that, or something like that here as well. Okay. um Somebody might be playing with your sense. Okay. Okay, something about the scenery here. What does the scene look like? Pay attention to the scenery. Okay, and something maybe just always a scene. Okay, I'm also getting what that Doji line about. You want to get one take, one act, or something like that. So the scenery. What's the scene? You only got one take. Okay, something like that here. Like something is always a scene. Something is always an act. Something is always a stage. Something is always staged. Something here is staged as well. Okay. Um. Yeah. Now the grievers, these creatures are dictated as dangerous and powerful, capable of inflicting the changing. Okay, so involving memory fragments through their stings. So somebody here wants to basically put these stings on you. Like it's something about a sting here or sting. Somebody wants to sting you, make this something that you can't forget, that you're always gonna think about, right? Okay. Yeah. So they are residing in a hole. Something about a hole here. Something maybe inside a hole, underground. All right. That's dealing with the maze. But last but not least, we have grievers in Adrienne Marie Brown's novel. And in her novel, Grievers basically is about a city that is affected by a mysterious illness causing people to fall into a non-responsive state. So some people here may be going through something like that, where some people are falling sick or something is making somebody sick. Okay, here and they don't know what it is. All right. It says the story follows a young woman investigating a plague and its potential to end while also dealing with grief and loss. Okay, so somebody here might be trying to find something out, investigate something, and how to end it. So somebody's trying to see how they can end something as well here. Okay. So, woo, that was just a lot again. This is kind of basically the same thing I said in Cancer's reading. And yeah, so that is kind of what I'm getting. So I'm glad that we got another movie. Maybe we need to check out the movie The Seventh Sense. And yeah, that's what I have. So, blah, blah, blah. All right, Leo. Let's see. See if I can get anything else for you guys. Some of you guys might be falling out with somebody. Okay. Falling out with somebody that you might be secretly in love with. Okay. Or somebody is secretly in love with somebody. I'm also hearing, I wanna make love in this club. In this club. In this club. So I wonder what that song is about. Love in the club. What is the meaning behind the song Love in the Club? Okay. Alrighty. So let's see, what is Love in the Club about? Um Alrighty. Love in the Club. Alright, gotta do it for the ladies, gotta do it for the hood. Okay, it says you are searching for somebody that'll take you out and do you right. Well, come on, baby, and let daddy show you what it feel like. You know, all you gotta do is tell me what you sipping on, and I promise I'm gonna keep it coming all night long. Okay. Looking in your eyes while you on the other side, and I think that Shawty I got a thing for you, doing it on purpose, wilding and working it. I can tell by the way you're looking at me, girl. I want to make love in this club. Okay, so somebody might be looking at you, seeing you, knowing what they want here. All right. I'm also getting like be cautious of getting drunk. Okay, having people maybe put things in your drink. All right, so be cautious of that. To make you feel away, to make you feel like you lifted, gifted higher than the ceiling. All right, be cautious of that. Um, okay, be cautious of that. It might be somebody that's older than you here, or you might be older than someone here as well. Something about the number 30, something about Mars. Okay. Okay, so Mars, the Roman god. Okay. So we go back to Roman again. Um, because it says Mars, the Roman god. Mars is also the Roman god of war, symbolizing aggression and military power. Mars refers to both a celestial body and a mythological figure. All right, so we're going back to mythology here. We're going back to Roman or Romans, Rome. We're going back to celestial bodies, things like that, type of thing. So, yeah. Something about the month of March. So I think that I'm finished here. I know that these messages lately has been a little different, so I'm gonna just leave this here. I'll be busy back with repeats. Maybe something resonated.